There's a team, right? The University of Wisconsin, I think, right? Where many the ages of people, you can see the ages. They went to school there, university. Lacrosse. It's called Lacrosse. The lowest part of the Mississippi River. It's like connected to the Mississippi. Right? I want you to show I want to show you what they have in common. Okay. I want to show you what they have in common. All right. Because two cases I'm going to get into, I'm going to kind of try to explain to you. One of them is Anthony Skifton, this third person here. And the next one is Luke Homan. We're going to go into the Luke Homan case of what happened with Luke Homan and what happened with Anthony Skifton. Okay. But all of these people, okay, drowned in water. They call it a cold water drowning, and they call it due to blood alcohol levels. So this is the same thing that's going to happen to Nolan Wells. This is why they already started from the beginning to say he's heavily drinking. One of the first reports, they said this. But yet they didn't give the toxicology reports or any of the stomach contents. They could have gave the stomach contents, some of it, to the second autopsy, and they could have done their own testing, their own toxicology to see what was his blood levels. Do you understand me? Some of these people, mysterious circumstances, like Anthony Skifton, they say like he had some bruises on his head, looked like he got into a fight, all types of things like that. But then they said that his his zipper was down and looked like his bladder was empty. So he relieved his bladder. He just fell into the river. But his family maintains that he is scared of water. He don't even like being nowhere near big bodies of water. He's scared of water. So why would he do this, even if he was drinking or not? Okay, that's his situation. All right. In Luke Homan's situation, I'm going to read to you about Luke Homan, and this is where we're going to make some comparisons now. Okay, this is where we're going to make a few comparisons. Okay, let me share this to you. Okay, this to show you intoxication that led to drowning. This is what's going to be the results of Nolan Wells, in my own opinion. It happened about how many people? Too much to number. Many drownings. All deemed no foul play. Accidental drownings. All cause blood alcohol level. Look, Lacrosse, this is the place. So you could Google the Lacrosse people that unalived in rivers and bodies of water. Google it yourself, right? Intoxication was a contributing factor in the drowning of a Lacrosse area teenager whose body was found in the Mississippi River, authorities said Tuesday. Lacrosse County medical examiner John Steers said a toxicology report showed the blood alcohol level for Anthony D. Skifton, 19 years old, was at 0.23%, and Skifton had been missing for about a week after leaving a party before his body was found. A week earlier, the body of Charles Blatz, it's another person, was found in the same order, of Kiel, was recovered not far from where Skifton's body was found. An autopsy also indicated that Blatz had drowned, and officials said the test showed that his blood alcohol level was at 0.31%. Okay? Stay with me. I want you to stay right with me. Okay? Don't go nowhere. Stay with me. All right, cool. This is the case. Yeah, I want to read this real quick. Hold up. Stay with me, y'all. Stay with me. What did they lose? Lost connection to my screen share audio. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's all right. Y'all can see it still, right? Making sure that y'all can see this, right? Okay. Yeah, my daughter's acting up, so I gotta most definitely go and see her. All right. Let me zoom this a little bit. Make sure you can hear me. But yeah, let me check it myself, man. Because y'all moving slow in that chat. I ain't got time. Don't have time. Don't have time. All right, cool. Yeah, y'all can. All right, cool. Listen now, because now we're gonna get into the case by case now. Okay, so I want you to pay attention. Let me read this to you. This is one of the first cases that let me see, like, damn, this is how Nolan Wells' case gonna go. In my own opinion. Think about this. I just showed you multiple cases, the same thing. They all got the same answer. Accidental drowning, no foul play. One dude looked like he got into a fight, had bruises on his head, all that. They still said it's accidental. White or black, doesn't even matter. Don't matter, bro. So don't think this is a black thing. White and black, bro. Okay, cool. Lucas Luke Homan, was a 21-year-old college student and basketball star when he disappeared from an Oktoberfest celebration in La Crosse, Wisconsin on October 2nd, 2006. 3 days after he went missing, 3 days, okay? Luke's body, this is in the time period now. Because remember, Nolan was supposed to be missing for 2 days. So we want a comparison also to a body that was in a body of water for at least 2 to 3 days. So we can understand what they were looking for in this body, what they said happened to this body, so we can understand what we're looking for in Nolan's body. Do you understand how you come case by case? Work with Uda, one of the smartest people you ever gonna know. So I moved from the spirit of God. Wait, look, let me show you. Luke's body was found not far from the shore of the Mississippi River, and his unaliving was ultimately ruled an accidental drowning. An autopsy report noted that acute alcohol intoxication, this is what is going on. That is what they're going to say. Watch. Acute alcohol intoxication. Watch. I'm the only person telling you this. No one's telling you this. Okay? They might come run down on me for this. Amen. Amen. I might have to catch another one. Hope you're watching me if you want to be the one to come follow me. Hope you know this. Okay. Was a major contributing factor. Police reported Luke had various wounds on his head, arms, and hands, which they concluded were travel abrasions that his body sustained while moving through the water. Listen to this line. Very important line that we have to listen to. Let me make sure that we still here. Very important line. Okay? Because I'm also going to bring up some infographics to explain to you what happens with bodies in water. Okay? As well as this. Let me go here real quick just to show you something. Okay? This is what made me think about this crazy. Let me show you. Where's that? This is it? No, where's that? Hold on. Let me find it for you. Oh, this is it. Okay, which one I was on? That one? Okay, cool. Right next to it. Boom. So when we go to Nolan's body, this is the second autopsy that you're looking at. Let me make sure you're looking at it. This is the second autopsy, okay? Okay, I've read this on my channel already. So I know what I'm looking for because I've read all these things. I'm reading, not just watching YouTube videos and reacting to what people are saying. I actually do reading, investigative journalism. Listen now, okay? We understand that July 10th is when he got the body to do the autopsy, which is 3 days later, which furthers the decomposition, more decomposing, right? Making it hard to see certain bruises. Okay, they tell you on E, the anterior internal neck structures were absent. They weren't received with the body. They didn't even send those with the body. Why not? We're doing an autopsy. We need everything and every part of the body to do the autopsy. Even stomach contents, we need everything. We want to perform our own toxicology report as well. They don't give you that at all. So they've already cut your hands off at the wrist and telling you to go do a task with no hands. Kudo. That's not what we're looking for, though. Look at here now. 1, no fractures. Look, no evidence of deep tissue injury. His head dissection has the area of the redness on the back of the head occipital region of his head, right? In the deep tissues of his head, right? No one knows why that's there, though. Kind of similar to maybe like Luke or maybe Anthony Skifton, who had some head injuries as well, yet they still ruled it an accidental drowning. He was with a guy. They said, the guy said he drove him to a spot, and then some guys was drunk and wounded too as well, and then some unknown person came and ran down on him or something like that. Yo, the story is all over the place, bro. Still accidental drowning. Look, posterior neck dissection, no fractures, no evidence of deep tissue. Rib exposure, dissection, no fractures, no evidence of deep tissue. Pelvic dissection, no fractures, no evidence of deep tissue. Subcutaneous and deep soft tissue dissection of the back, the buttock, the arms and legs is no evidence of deep tissue. Okay? I just want to read one more thing to show you. Look, they said the second autopsy performed in Nolan Wells revealed marked decompositional changes mark decomposition and can't obscure the presence or absence of bruising on the skin surface, especially during a second autopsies. The second autopsy performed on Nolan Wells revealed marked decompositional changes. Marked decomposition can't obscure the presence or the absence of bruising on the skin. So maybe them waiting long enough to have the body is already decomposing the body more than it's been. Okay, so let me get back to Luke Homan so then I could go into my other image, into my other paperwork, and then we're going to get right into the infographic. Okay, and then I can come and spend some time with my sweet little sweetie, right? Cool. So look now, which would concluded abrasions that his body sustained to move into water. Yet his body, Nolan's body, is supposed to have been in water for 2 days. Yeah, but they're telling you there's no bruising there at all. Does this make sense to you? But in Luke's case, they said he was there for 3 days, and any bruising that he had on his head, his arms, or his hand were concluded when were travel abrasions that his body sustained while moving through water. If Nolan's body was in that water for 48 hours, close to 2 days, how much bruises would his body have incurred? Hitting the shoreline, brushing up against the seabed, waves hitting you could cause bruising as well. And I'm going to show you the difference of how when you're alive, how a bruise gets made, and how when your body's cold, post-mortem, how a bruise gets created as well, because there's no blood there. So it kind of looks the same, but it looks different. It's kind of more shallow looking, but you can see there's a bruising layer there that's under the dermis, under the skin. Investigators would later note that Luke was one of more than 20 men who had mysteriously drowned in the Mississippi River. Nolan drowned allegedly in the Mississippi Sound. It's the part that connects it right to the coast, to the Gulf. Okay, stay with me. Shout out to Luke, man. Look like a smooth guy, man. You know what I'm saying? Basketball player, look like a smooth guy. Look like the ladies loved him, right? RIP to him. You know what I mean? Though local enforcement officially closed the case back in 2026, a group of investigators is currently working on Luke's unaliving, reclassified as a HOMIS, CID, whatever. I don't want to say the word. Former New York Police Department detectives Kevin Gannon and Michael Donovan, Anthony Duarte, and Professor of Criminal Justice Dr. Lee Gilbertson believe that Luke could be a potential victim of the smiley face unalivers. An alleged unknown gang of serial unalivers that unalives college-aged men and dumps their bodies in nearby waters and paints smiley faces near or on the unaliving sites, right? I don't know if they ever found the smiley faces on them, but they ended up doing a documentary on them. You see, there was on Oxygen as well, the hunt for the smiley face killers. So they already put his unaliving to that. Dr. Gilbertson met with an FBI former dive team leader and underwater forensic expert Bobby Chacon to re-examine Luke's autopsy report and photographs. By looking at the injuries on Luke's upper body, Chacon theorized that they had been inflicted before his remains had went into the water. Yet they said it's possible that due to travel in the water, his body could have incurred those bruises. Yet Nolan's body has no bruises. So was Nolan's body in the water for 48 hours, 24 hours, or was his body brought there and only there for a few hours? Maybe brought the night of when they found him, the night of the 5th, in the early morning wee hours of the 6th. Because that his body was also located in a place where not only investigators search, helicopter search, fire department search, police department search, national park rangers search, drones searched. Not only that, the first day that the investigators went out after receiving the call that he was missing, they didn't go that night. They went out the next day, following day. That's where in the TikTok video saying Karen, the guy Karen, who was the first officer, did they wait for Karen to be on shift? Oh, that's a whole bunch of questions. Allegedly, I don't know. But we do know that the first journey that they made to the island after receiving the call, which is the following day of the 5th, They saw a boat. They met a boat. The officers, the agents met a boat on the way there coming from Horn Island. Who was on this boat? I read this all in the paperwork and showed you all of this. Nolan's mom, Nolan's dad, and Nolan's coach, Les George. They were on the northwestern tip, all around in a boat, searching around the shoreline of the tip of where they found Nolan, and they did not find him. With all those tides, low tides, high tides, in and out, all of these things, it could have dragged the body all the way to the into the deep, deep ocean, the deep sea. It could have been in the Gulf. Your body could have ended up in the Gulf by then. Do you understand that? Do you think that the body is connected to the shore magnetically and it's staying there and it just has to stay there? It doesn't have to stay there. This is why Ben Crump is saying, yo, it's mysterious that the body came to be found right back in the same spot where everybody been searching the whole damn time. And was Nolan's body in the water as long as they potentially say it was in the water? And if so, why is it only one injury can be proven, which is to the back of the head, which is the red discoloration in the back of the head, in the occipital region? Why is that? You understand me? Cool. He got his injuries to the outer side of both. He got injuries to the outer side of both hands, and to the head. And it looked like he's been in a fight. This is Luke. That's what it looks like to me, said Chacon, who went and did his own research on this. Chacon noted a certain travel abrasions could cause similar injury patterns to the skin, but the wounds would not be as red as Luke's markings. So the wounds won't be red because guess why? Also, in his postmortem, there's no blood there. So they send blood there. That's why it's red. Do you understand that? When your body's cold and there's no more blood to be sent anywhere, the bruising looks different. So that wound in the back of Nolan's head was sustained when he was alive or when blood was rushing in his body. You understand what's going on here? Okay, stay with me. I've seen bodies that have been beat up post-mortem, explains Chacon. It's usually white. Listen what he's saying, the bruise. Listen, he's describing how the bruises should look. It's usually white or it's no color at all because there's no blood. The body doesn't send any blood there post-mortem. See what I'm saying? So even this red mark on the back of Nolan's head had to be sustained while he was alive and not when he was unalived. You see what I'm saying? Yet he don't have a whole bunch of bruises on his body after being in the water allegedly for plus 12 whatever hours. 2 days, that's looking like more like 24 hours times 2. Think about this, right? Chacon told Dr. Gannon and Dr. Gilbertson that he saw zero decomposition in parts of Luke's remains. And some parts of his body didn't even have decomposition, which also may say, like, how long was his body in the water? If you're going on assumption, as the medical examiner apparently did, that the body was in water for 50 plus hours. This is why I made a comparison of this case to Luke's case. He was in there supposed to be for 50 plus hours. Nolan supposed to be in there at least 30 something, 48 hours, close to 50 hours, right? If he was gone for 2 days and they found him on the 6th. Hold on, y'all. My daughter's acting up. Hold up. What happened? Okay. Give me 1 second, y'all. Gotta take care of baby girl. Y'all don't matter that much to me. Y'all don't even give me $1. Who gives a fuck? Y'all don't care what I'm saying. I'm probably risking my life telling you this shit. You see people telling you this shit? When you go read it for yourself, you're going to like, ooh, this shit make mad sense. Me and Lord and Jesus. That's who got my back. Okay, what y'all said. Anyway. Look. So listen now. 50 plus hours. Okay? That's why I'm using his case. I got other cases as well that I'm comparing it to. I'm going to do a separate video on this. So this is just me live. And I might put all my shit on memberships only now. When I do my lives, it's going to be members. You want to get my story? Come get my story on the low. What now? I ain't got time. People that support me going to get the story, man. That's it. It's over. I have nothing to prove. This shit don't pay my bills. I don't care. My bills are paid. Right? Look. In a body of water, 50 plus hours, the traditional thing that I used to see on bodies that were in the water that long, I don't see on this body. I just showed you the autopsy. What's on Nolan's body? Nothing. So they're saying that his body wasn't in the water as long as they think it is. And I think the same thing about Nolan. Just based on the autopsy results, not based on my mind, based on the autopsy. Chacon said that if Luke had been in the Mississippi River for more than 2 days, like the police theorized, his body would have been much more covered in debris, dirt, and mud. Based on the autopsy photographs, Chacon estimated that Luke was only in the water for about 3 to 12 hours. Yo, bro. Think about what I'm telling you now. How long was Nolan in that water? Think. Gannon believes that Chacon's analysis lines up with his theory about the overall smiley face unalivers pattern. They abduct individuals, hold them for periods of time, and then they place them in the water. In order to push local law enforcement to reopen the case, Gannon and Luke's mother, Patty Homan, visited the La Crosse Police Department to present their evidence, and they were currently waiting on a response from the La Crosse Police Department. All right? Cool. Again, let's go here. This is the autopsy. You go back up here. They look blurry, right? This ain't fake. From Benjamin Crump. Look what's going on. Okay? Shows you the date. Second, look. They don't know the date of his unaliving. It's unknown. The second autopsy date is here, July 10th. It's when they got the body. Okay? It's already decomposing because they also made them wait 3 more days besides the days he's been unalive. Besides the autopsy being done, the first initial Mississippi State autopsy was done on the 7th, the day after they found him. So why do we got to wait 3 days now? When you know the body is decomposing, bro. Time is of the essence. We need to do this autopsy now, bro. Why do they make them wait 3 days? Then don't give them none of the things they really need. You can have that body all you want. If they didn't find the one thing in the back of his head, the body was no good to have in there. But they found nothing. Luckily, the incision that they made and where they found that out, the first medical examiners didn't go there. They didn't even find it. They didn't even make that incision. Imagine. So they already passed that, like, okay, that's cool over there. We didn't need to make no dissections over there. They didn't even make an incision there. They tell you in this autopsy that they the one that did it. They went there and made the incision and found the red discoloration in the tissues in the back of the head and all that. The second autopsy did that, bro. They never did that. So if they didn't find that, that means they found nothing because the body just told you is no fractures, no evidence of deep tissue injury, nowhere, right? Plus, post-mortem has affected some of that as well, the decomposition. But when they receive the body, they don't receive no anterior internal neck structures or the lung, which are the 2 key parts to determine if a person's drowned, if a person is asphyxiated, and all of those things. Right? None of the gastric contents. Let me show you where that's at. Let me show you where that's at. Look. Right here. Let me zoom it. Toxicology not performed. They couldn't perform a toxicology because they didn't get the gastric contents of the stomach. You need the stomach contents and stuff like that. You know, you're going to get blood, you get intravenous fluids, you get urine, you get these different kinds of things. But remember, you waiting days, bro. So they received none of those specimens to conduct their own toxicology report. So how would they know how much liquor that Nolan has drank? They just saying he was drinking heavy. One woman on the beach said that I saw him with a whole bottle of vodka. How you remember him? Why? Because he's black? That's it? Why were you even looking for him at all? Think about these questions that I'm asking you, bro. No toxicology report. So that means that 9 times out of 10, the same situation that happened to Luke Homan, not in what happened to him, but the ruling, the finding, Anthony Skifton, Charles Blatz, all of those other people that was found in the Mississippi, all accidental drownings, all due to blood alcohol level, acute intoxication, right? When you hear these words being said again, remember, okay? Remember that I'm telling you this shit right now. All right, cool now. Let's go here. Look, okay? They say bruises do not always mean foul play, but context and forensic evidence matter. How water can cause bruising or marks. Boat impacts, collisions, propellers, hull contacts can cause bruises or blunt trauma. Rocks, shells, and debris. Contact with rocks, oyster beds, shells, docks, pilings, or other hard surfaces can cause marks. Currents and waves, just the waves alone can cause marks. Strong movement can cause bodies to collide with objects or be tumbled against the bottom of the water, of the rocks and stuff on the bottom, right? Bottom or shore contact. He was found on the shoreline, yet there's no bruising. Bottom or shoreline contact, dragging, rolling, and hitting the bottom of the shoreline can create bruises and abrasions. Marine life activity, bites, nips, or scavenging the marine animals can cause injuries or marks. Man-made objects, debris, metals, glass, ropes, fishing gear, and other objects can cause impact injuries as well. When we look at this now, we look at a bruise, injuries before antemortem, right? Before you unalive, you can see how it's red, how all of the nerve endings and they rush blood to that area. All right. Blood flow is present. Tissue responds and bleeds. The bruises usually deeper and the shape and the pattern more defined, seen as potential signs of assault or trauma. See what I'm saying? Now look, after unaliving, you can see on the right side here, there's no blood circulation. Marks can appear from pressure or movement. Bruises may be flatter and or irregular, often less distinct, and needs careful analysis to see the bruising. Okay, do you understand this? So these are questions that we got to look for. Location of the injuries, where are the marks on the body that matters. He has no bruising, especially plus the decomposition. Even if there are some bruising, we cannot find them, identify them specifically. One thing that we do know there's a bruise, which is red, is at the back of Nolan's head. Okay? And for it to be red, it had to be sustained when it was blood pumping through the body. Okay? Look at how the other right side looks. That's how bruises are caused post-mortem. Okay? So he sustained that injury to the back of the head while he was alive. I'm telling you this. Okay? All right. So now let's look at this now. Okay? This is how a body decomposes in water. Okay? 0 to 10 hours. Very early changes, no visible change. The body temperature starts to equalize with the water. Rigor mortis may still be present, but no bloating as of yet. The body will look similar to when the person was still alive. As far as 10 to 12, 24 hours, okay? That's just if Nolan was in the water for just the 1 day, not the 2 days that he supposedly is in the water. Bloating begins due to the gas buildup. The skin may appear pale or waxy. Small amounts of gases discharge from the mouth, nose, and other openings. Often the most difficult time to estimate how long the body has been in the water. Now, 24 to 28 hours. Okay. This is the time period of like a Nolan, right? Significant bloating, skin discoloration, mottling, and marbling. Skin may begin to slip or peel, especially on the hands and face. The skin begins to slip and peel. Strong odor may be present. Blood and fluids may leak from the body openings. 2 to 3 days, 48 hours to 72 hours. Now, the decomposition increases now. The skin breakdown and slippage increases. Blisters and open wounds now start to serve now. Open wounds on the body. Okay. Hair may start to come out. Body may begin releasing strong gases. Marine life, fish, crabs, and all of that become more active on the body. At this stage, the identity may be unrecognizable without forensic help. You might not even know how this body looks at this point between 2 to 3 days. Yet it don't seem that Nolan's body is all the way in this position yet. And we understand with 3 to 5 days due extensive skin loss, soft tissue breaks down rapidly, bones may begin to show out the body now, and all of that stuff happens. And 5 days, you already know, you damn near look, most of the soft tissue is gone. Only bones and cartilage and mummified remains may be left at that time when you get to 5 days, all right? So between these two periods of time, what was the state of Nolan's body? Right? Think about this. What was the state of Nolan's body?